This week's weekly ritual is dedicated to the memories of rock and pop icon Ronnie Spector, Budgie frontman Burke Shelley, Cerebus frontman Paul Rapp and his father Pablo Jimenez, Parliament Funkadelic co-founder Calvin Simon, and Ghost Cult friend and supporter Emmanuel King, who all passed away recently. Rest in peace. What's up, everybody? It's Keefy, and you're watching another edition of the Weekly Ritual, Ghost Cult's news show, right here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. GhostCultMag.com is a small business. With that out of the way, let's get into it.
In case you missed it, features at Ghost Cult.
We kick this week's features off with a gang of new interviews. First up, Trevor William Church of Haunt talks about his new album, DIY Ethos, and much more. We also talk to George Pond and Corey Glover of Disciples of Verity. We talk about their current album, new music, their new record deal, and their current tour. We also talk to Rob Cavestany of Death Angel. Their new album, The Bastard Tracks, is out now. And finally, we talk to Niso from Altareth. The Swedish doom metalers released their new album, Blood, on Magnetic Eye Records. You can also catch me on the Glacially Musical Pouredcast once a week, Beer, Metal, and Swearing. This week, we continue our series on Faith No More. We also want to send a shout out to Adam Biggs of Rivers of Nile. He and his wife welcomed a new addition to their family, their first child. Congrats!
And now, the news rundown.
Kicking things off with our festival and tour news, BottleRock Napa is back, my friends. It is almost all sold out already after the quick announcement earlier this week. Metallica will headline the festival, following in the footsteps of Foo Fighters and Guns N' Roses last year. Hopefully Metallica won't overrun the curfew like Guns N' Roses did. Joining Metallica on the bill will be Pink, Luke Combs, 21 Pilots, Greta Van Fleet, Dorothy, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and a bunch more artists. It's gonna be a banger. Also in big festival news, Bonaroo has announced their comeback festival for 2022. Tool will be one of the headliners along with Stevie Nicks. Hopefully this year it's going to happen. The last 2 years it was canceled between coronavirus and weather issues. Speaking of Tool, Tool kicked off their headline tour this week in the west coast of the US. It runs through next month before they head to Europe. They are joined in the tour by Blonde Redhead and sometimes The Drugs Help. And the band has resorted to using COVID-sniffing dogs, kind of like drug-sniffing dogs, except they sniff COVID, used most recently by Metallica. Good luck on the tour, Tool. Stay safe. The metal tour of the year is back, my friends. Megadeth, Lamb of God, Trivium, and now InFlames taking their rightful opening spot, held down by Hatebreed on the first leg. That tour will kick off this spring. Tickets are on sale now. In some tour postponement news, Khemmis has been forced to postpone their West Coast tour of the US until this coming June. The band will continue to support their brand new album, Deceiver, out now on Nuclear Blast. So What Festival returns to Texas this May, and it's got a plethora of incredible bands. Check out this list of bands: Parkway Drive, I Prevail, The Ghost Inside, Black Bear, Sum 41, Simple Plan, Grandson, Hatebreed, Knock Loose, Bleeding Through, The Acacia Strain, Dropout Kings, and more. New York death metal legend Suffocation will kick off a headline tour in late spring, early summer. Joining them on the tour will be Atheist, Surreption, and Contrarian. The band will also make a stop at Maryland Death Fest. Speaking of Parkway Drive, we mentioned a few stories back, Parkway Drive is going to do a headline tour in the US. Joining them will be the Black Dahlia Murder, Hatebreed, and Stick to Your Guns. More cancellation news as Unify Festival in Australia has had to postpone to their backup weekend this coming March. The surge in the COVID has made them think twice about having their festival right now. We're pulling for you, Unify Festival. It's got a killer bill of Australian bands, and we're really rooting for you to get that festival happening in March. Metal supergroup Disciples of Verity will kick off a headline tour this weekend, hitting dates in the East Coast and the Midwest. The Chaos and Carnage tour has been announced with Suicide Silence and Carnifex and a bunch of other killer bands. Beachlife Festival has been announced for this spring. Among the acts headlining that cool festival in Southern California will be Weezer, Steve Miller Band, Stone Temple Pilots, and Smashing Pumpkins. P.O.D. has announced a string of new dates in Texas this spring. Joining them on the short run of dates will be Nonpoint, Norma Jean, and Living Sacrifice. 10 Years has announced the spring tour with Black Map and VRSTY. In the top story of music this week, Judas Priest has decided to dismiss Andy Sneap, legendary producer and guitarist from their live band. He has produced their upcoming new album, but he is not going to tour with the band any longer, and the band is going to continue as a four-piece. Really surprising news. Andy was apparently caught off guard by the phone call from Rob Halford, who informed him of the decision. He wasn't that bitter, but he did say he was very disappointed. He'll go back to his producing work, of which he is one of the greatest producers in the world, and maybe go back to some of his other bands. But we'll see how Judas Priest does as a four-piece. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think of Judas Priest as a four-piece. I don't know what I think. I want two guitars. What does Corey Taylor think? He already let us know what he thinks. In a new tweet from Corey Taylor, he says there's a lot going on in the Slipknot camp, including a new album. We knew that already, and we were expecting it to release this year. Slipknot's first independent album ever. No announcement yet if they're going to go with a label. Probably not. But very interesting stuff from Corey Taylor. Foo Fighters have shared a new full-length trailer for their horror comedy film, Studio 666. Coming out February 26th in 2,000 theaters in the US and elsewhere in the world afterwards. Ozzy Osbourne is getting into the crypto game. That's right, NFTs. Ozzy's Crypto Bats NFT is going to drop on January 20th, the 40th anniversary of him biting the head off a bat, the legendary and terrible story that Ozzy bit the head off a bat when a fan threw a real live bat on stage. Ozzy used to bite the head off fake bats as part of his Blizzard of Oz show, but he's getting into the NFT game, joining the likes of tons of bands, including Megadeth, Avenged Sevenfold, September Morning, and many more. Good luck, Oz. Sabaton have dropped a brand new lyric video for their new song, Soldier of Heaven, from their upcoming new album, due out in March. Bay Area thrash legends Vio-Lence have dropped their first song in almost 30 years. Flesh from Bone is out now with a killer lyric video. They're dropping a new EP on Metal Blade this spring. Super stoked for the thrash legends' return. A great butt munch once said, you can't have stuff that's cool without stuff that sucks. And what doesn't suck is that Beavis and Butthead are coming back to Paramount Plus this year with a new Beavis and Butthead movie, a series, and a lot more. Mike Judge shared a teaser of some artwork that looks like the old Beavis and Butthead from Beavis and Butthead Do America on his Twitter. Pretty fun and cool. We're looking forward to an announcement soon about the Beavis and Butthead movie sequel. Chris Cafferty of Sabotage and Trans-Siberian Orchestra says that Sabotage may finally be ready to compose and create a brand new Sabotage album. This would be their first album in almost 30 years, and we're here for it. He gave a new interview in which he said the band is already discussing concepts and writing songs. This is very exciting. Sabotage has only played the occasional show in Europe as a reunion and not toured the US in 3 decades. Finally, Rolo Tomassi, who edges closer and closer to their new album coming out on Monarch Music this spring, has dropped a beautiful new music video for their song Closer.
And now for a look at some of the music on New Music Friday.
Laden, The Artisan Era, Belphegor, Boot Sabbath, and The Last Supper re-release, Nuclear Blast. Big Scenic Nowhere, The Long Morrow, Heavy Psych Sounds. Breaths. Though life has turned out nothing like I imagined, it is far better than I could have dreamt. Trepanation, Buffalo Revisited, Volcanic Rock Live, Ripple Music, Descent, Order of Chaos, Redefining Darkness. Earthless, From the Ages, Rhythm of a Cosmic Sky, and Sonic Prayer, re-release, Nuclear Blast. Electromancy, Techno-Pagan, Metal Assault Records. Enterprise Earth, The Chosen, Monarch Music. Adib Altor, Vargtimen, Hammerheart. Fit for an Autopsy, Oh What the Future Holds, Nuclear Blast. Gershock, Hypnotic Disasters EP, self-released. King Bastard, It Came from the Void, self-released. Lee McKinney, In the Light of Knowledge, Sumerian. Magnum, The Monster Roars, SPV, Steamhammer. Maul, self-titled, Gates of Hell. Oceans, Hell is Where the Heart Is, Part 1, Love EP. Nuclear Blast. Out of This World, self-titled, Atomic Fire. Hardy Cannon, Volumes of Vomit, Gorehouse. Pride Lands, Light Bends, Sharp Tone Records, Shadow of Intent, Elegy, Blood Blast. Skillet, Dominion, Atlantic Records. Slow Bleed, A Blazing Sun, The Fiery Dawn, Creator Destructor. Space Coke, Lunacy, Forbidden Place. Tony Martin, Thorns, Darkstar Records. Tundra, Hex, Inside Out Music, Tricky Vulture, Twist the Knife EP, self-released. Various artists, Dominance and Submission, a tribute to the Blue Oyster Cult, Ripple Music. Visadult, There's Always Blood at the End of the Road, Century Media Records. And Worm Shepherd, Chalice of Rebirth, Unique Leader Records.
And now for a look in our mailbag.
I got something in the mail. It's a vinyl. Let's see what it is. It says Fragile. It's packed beautifully, I have to say. I like when my vinyl is packed well because I get mad when it shows up with things on it. Awesome! It's the new 7-inch single from Exhumed, Worming. And it's got 4 tracks on it. Side Gore has Worming and Nazi Meddlers Fuck Off. And Side Metal has Distorted and Twisted to Form and Vacant Grave. Not only is this 7-inch an awesome yellow color, it's got a matching yellow 45 disc. Classic. Thanks, Exhumed. You guys rule. You made it to this part of the show, so you know what time it is. It's the end. GhostCultMag.com is a small business, and we really appreciate the support. As we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So please, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and stay as metal as humanly possible, and polite.